Hi there, this is Anna. So today I'm going to talk about the market recap and what happened in the market. Anyway, um, this is very important because this is like happening almost every time that the market would short and then go long and open. Okay, so these things are very carefully thought out per se, and it happens quite often and on what I'm seeing. It's just repetitive. If you know what, when in it, you know, where it's going to happen, then your probability is very high. So what I have here is RTY, but before we actually get into that, let's talk about the actual, sorry, the risk disclosure. I know that I have to say this every time because I don't want anyone to kind of like before, you know, everyone to trade that they're not carefully thought it out before they entering the trade and the risk that they are trying to expose themselves. Anyway, for all traders and investors, this is only for educational purposes. Futures and options and all instrument in trading contain substantial risks and are not suitable for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than initial investment. Do not trade or enter any trade without fully understanding the worst case scenario of the trade, and do not enter with the money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance of an investment is not necessarily indicative of its future result. No assurance can be given that any implied recommendation will be profitable or will not be subject to losses. Please contact your registered financial advisors before taking any investment. Okay, so one second, let me just go through something. Make sure that I'm doing this correctly for everyone because they might have I think I am posting that where I supposed to post it. And I think that is the same thing. So okay, we're gonna start now as far as looking at futures and
Yes, everything. She's like a wife that leaves before you wake up, doesn't mind, sleep around.
okay, hold on. You guys need to kind of mute yourselves around to make sure that you are not so this is just a market recap on for tonight on what I'm looking for. So we traded overnight the RTY, and you know, last night, and I said this too many times. So what I have here, as far as the indicator, if you guys are familiar with it or not familiar with it, I'm going to show you what I have. Edit study. So sorry, studies here. So this is what I have. I have the zigzag, the Hall moving average, the Darvis, the MPE bands. That's a very important bands that actually includes in joining in joining the room with us, and the VWAP colors. And I'll tell you, they're very helpful for us far as, you know, entering the trade and going long and short. So here's last night. Okay, so RTY went below the pivot. Okay, and this is VWAP, this purple line right here. When they go below the pivot and your 32 HMA cross it, that is short. But anyway, I always go short when they go below the BWAP. And last night I posted that. I think that it was here. Let's show you. So if you were on the room with us, the night futures trade, I always post. This is the second read for the night. Okay, and because we have a second leg. So this one is the first leg on what I did as far as the overnight outlook, and then I do the morning outlook and see what's going to happen. This is like um looking at what's the possibility on the trades and also the option vaults and what we do and all of that. So anyway, learning tabs is where you learn everything, the room strategies, the BWAP and all of that. And this is where you also get the indicators in the bottom, the free indicators. I'm sorry, I think it's in here. Oh, here. So you click that and then you get the actual indicator when you join with us. So anyway, let's go dive in on RTY. So like I said, this is short last night, right? So how do you look at these things as far as returning to the mean? So when they do go up there, they also go back to BWAP. And that this is where you're gonna short if you are trying to short. And you have a low here that probably gonna get tested. You always want to look at a day before to get tested. Very important. High or low, they are very important numbers. If you are in here, please kind of have your mute yourself because I can hear you. Anyway, so my point is that we need to be paying attention with the lows of yesterday's or even the day before that, right? So here catching the lows here. And then where it returns to the BWAP. It's not going to be that much, like about 10 points. But still, that is important part of trading. So, and then look what happened here. You tested the BWAP and then go back down again, and there's your low. You close to the S2 in the morning, and this is about a 9:20 before we open. And I said, since we went down overnight, I think we might pull back up. And I said that at the morning outlook if you was listening to it. So here's the BWAP. Okay, you have your W pattern. We are coming from the lows in RTY. Recently, I swear, I just been liking RTY just because they hug even ES and NQ and NYM, they've been hugging the pivots like really well lately. So here's your bullish engulfing. Okay, so if you want a confirmation with that, then it goes to 32 HMA. Then you definitely want to go long, especially when they go above BWAP. This is where you want to go long and you want to target here at the pivot. Okay, so that's how you do that. That's how you break down the support resistance kind of trade. Okay, so that's how I would trade it. So here we reach this high around 10:30, whatever. And normally when they go back to the 32 HMA down from there, if you have like almost two pivot lines, they do come down and it will test the BWAP because your BWAP is an equilibrium. It kind of tests if we are going to go high or low. And this is your, let's see, your trend line. Okay. It's a little steep because that's definitely how it's connected from here to here. This is your second line. So I would be like worried because this is a lot, 55 to all the way to like 87. I mean, that's like 30 points in RTY, going up. So, and we are below the pivot. And I didn't short this. I'm just saying that this is important as far as trading. You wanted to short it when you get this M pattern here, when you go below the 32 HMA, and then you can actually go long here after you short. Okay, here's the entry again and the VWAP. You see that here's the what they call it. I think it's a dragonfly doji. It's not inverted. It's not a what gravestone doji, because if you do it backwards, then it'll be a gravestone doji. But this is a what they call it, a dragonfly doji. When you see that, you need to start going long, and you know this tested the VWAP, and you need to target here and stay long until we fill this high. Okay, when it breaks the high, then you need to stay there. So this arrow here, this yellow line, I'm sorry, this yellow arrow is a Darvis. That means it's breaking out from this line right here. This resistance is breaking out. That's what it means. And here you go. It tagged the MPD bands, the high MPD bands. You need to be watching out of kind of around here. So when you touch that, so look for exit when you start seeing these, because we are not really long for the day. It's not trending. The bulls are not trending. So you need to be watchful on like, I need to be exiting soon, because this is done already when it touched the MPD bands. So that's how I look at things as far as trading. Let's go to ES. So the S&P is the same thing, right? So we go below the VWAP, short, 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 short. Okay. And like I said last night, I said, watch this low here. And that's start 37.93. Watch this low here, because you still have support here on the 37.80. Okay, so let's see what happened. In the morning, I said last night too, so listen to this. When this goes above the VWAP, kind of wait for it and then go short there. Okay. So this tested all the way to 80, where your support a day before. So you need to be paying attention. I'm gonna tell you again, you need to be paying attention to the recent support and resistance, because they're very, very helpful and very important. I can't emphasize it enough, and I use them all the time. Okay, so here's the entry that I said to the room. We are at S2. S2 are the stalling lines in pivots. Okay, it's like almost like 95% of the time when they go down there and you see this bullish engulfing, and above it, the 32 HMA, you need to pay attention, start going along around that area. Okay, either you could try to target the VWAP or target the pivot. And I said earlier too at open, we are going to go long. Do not short, because we have been short overnight, and normally if that happens, it's just, I don't know, I just kind of like looking at this way, like if what you would want to short again if it's already been short. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Maybe you can short later when they go return to the mean. Okay, so anyway, my point is that I don't want to keep shorting where it's not really like making any sense to short. That's my point on that, because we're still in the bullish trend, by the way. Okay, so here that is. So if you want to target VWAP, that's fine, but this is my target here, 3807. And I said that going long from here. And then look what happened. This is why you like the 32 HMA. It kind of give you a confirmation too when they're done. So tested the pivot, failed the pivots, okay, and then go short again right around here. And then I'm not gonna short there. I don't really want to short in the pivot just because I'm a BWAP kind of person as far as trading. So I would short here around 37.95 area, even at 80 or something. Sorry, 3,800. So this wasn't really a lot of money, but in SPX that is like major money on the 1 minute. So that's all I'm trying to say as far as like going long and going short. So end of day, there's really no money there, okay? Unless you wanna just, short from here, entering because it went below the 32 HMA, okay? And then below the pivot, and you have this triple top or M pattern or head and shoulder, whatever you want to call it. So targeting is very important. You need to target pivots line. They just work. I've been trading for so long that I'm just like, they're doing the same thing. It doesn't really matter or how squiggly we get, but we still get to here, those lines. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go to NQ. NQ was short last night. I still have that Fibonacci retracement there. So here, NQ didn't want to give up, anything. So this thing, I was actually, doing my short from the open, and hold on. Oh, come on. What is that? I'm trying to get the retracement. It's not giving it to me. There it is. Sorry. So this is the low to high kind of thing. So my target's only like up to 13,000 there. And how I look at things. So, okay, fine. If we gone below the 1618 level and 1365, we're probably going to go to S1, which is at 12976, or the S2, in which is you have support here. So I'm going to reiterate one more time, that we test levels as far as support resistance. So this is like going to be like the same thing. If you have the Ninja Trader, and it would show that you have support in kind of like your high value area or your pivots. The extended lines is what you need from the Ninja Trader. So you could see those line of support right here, right here at this area. Okay, so right here at this area. So they're very important. And this morning at open, I was long. I said, we are going to go to W pattern, and I'm going to try to go long to, to the VWAP. So that is like the 930, sorry, like how much was that? Yeah, it's 930 to like 980 in the NQ. Okay, so here's that. Oh my gosh, hold on. So after that, like here, we gone short again, went below VWAP. You have this signal right there on short, gone below VWAP, try to test these S1, and probably will test this low. Think about breaking out of the box. So this line here, connect to this line, that you have an M pattern if you actually connected those. So we'll put this in 15 minutes so you can really see what I'm talking about. See, there's your double top. Here's your double top. Okay, so just think about it in perspective as far as shorting, trying to connect your lines, and, do targeting in in any instrument that you want to trade because they are important. And use the pivots because they're very good, and connect the Darvis, your MPD bands, and the 32 HMA. When you see this W pattern, and it's going above the 32 HMA, this is like a classic trade that I teach every time in our room. So here it touched the MPD bands. That's the second standard deviation in NinjaTrader. Okay, if you have NinjaTrader, that's what's going to show that we are outskirt of it. And making that W pattern, you need to wait until it goes to 32 HMA and you go long. Okay, so that's just how that trade is. Very important. I cannot emphasize that enough as far as trading goes. So here's YM. We are short from last night, breaking down the VWAP from here. You can see all this purple thing here. It was short. So here it retraced around 3 o'clock in the morning and it went back down. Okay, so where did it go? So you have a S1, keep going down, S2. So do you see what I mean? And we tag the low 36.53 as far as my target there. And I'm not saying that it will go to 1618 every time. It will definitely go to 1272 to 1618 because that is like the lower levels that I'm looking for overnight. So here, bullish engulfing, S2, long. Okay, so going above the 32 HMA, and that happens at 9 o'clock. Touch the VWAP, gun above the VWAP, you need to target the pivot after that. Okay, so here, failed the pivot again and then gone too close to the VWAP. So if you want to just trade just like that, so when you return to the mean to the VWAP, then target the pivot. Okay, so what you need to understand is trying to look at the VWAP as your equilibrium. Whatever the outskirt, in between is the profit that you can make. Think about it that way, and have your 32 HMA to guide you if you're going to go long or short. And this thing changes colors too. As far as the 32 HMA, the VWAP are included in the room if you attend. So attend, not attend, I mean to become a member. They are free. So this is the things that I'm looking at. So let's go over GC as well. While we're at it, I want to look at GC because I have a GLD position that I open up. Come on. So GC has been short. I said it was short last night, right? So we did short GC, but this one's only gone to like close to 100%. We take that off. So hit this low. Okay, and then it gotten like low to the 1820s. So I said, if this thing goes below, 1820, 1810 level, I'm just going to take the loss. And because GC will probably go to the 1700, and that's not what I wanted to, capture anyways, as far as going to the long side. So as far as day trading, we are short, okay? When you get this W pattern, this is where you're going to go long and target the VWAP. It's not a lot from there because you are actually going against the grain. It's kind of tough sometimes, but that's what you're going to get overnight. I mean, there's nothing going on in there. Okay. This is the morning. Let me show you the morning session. Hold on. So here's the morning session. We are at S1. We gone above the VWAP and we only like reached to 51. We didn't really move. I mean, there's like nothing there. Like it got stagnant. I don't know if they're trying to make decision or something like that. This will frustrate you as a trader if you're trying to go long in the VWAP and there's nothing there and stop there. Okay, what are you going to try to do? So if if this happens, if you've gone below the 32 HMA, you need to get out. That's the best thing you can do here. Exit on the 32 HMA. This is that means it's like there's nothing in it. Okay, look at it in 15 minutes so we can see. So we gone already. If you traded it at open here, then you know this doji, all dojis are not very good indication of going long, that going further, right? That is like sign of trouble. I would be getting out my position there if I have anything in gold. If I enter it right over here somewhere at 37 to 47.12 or something like that. When they start seeing doji like that, I need to get out. Anyway, so that's that in GC. I think the last one, did I talk about silver? Hold on. You guys can post, on chat as far as your questions or anything. So here's CL. CL is still long. We actually kind of gotten short. I was short overnight from here to here. We, the purple line, like I said, short at the VWAP. And we didn't tag this low here. I was looking for 51.36, but my target is at 51.72 to 51.51. So here's how you trade CL. Okay, CL, when you do trade CL from, let's say you got in a 930 area here. This is at 15. Let's go look at the 5 minutes. So we can capture the trade. It's better. So here's your W pattern, right? Again, above the 32 HMA, you need to go long, target VWAP, target the pivots. Hold on. Sure. Sounds good. Okay, thank you. So that's what I'm talking about as far as having, to know the resistance and support as far as, the area on any instrument. This is for anything really, for anything as far as targeting wise. When you go above the BOP, you need to go long, period. It's like a program kind of thing. And that's what I have in my NinjaTrader on my bot. That's what I have. I have going long on the pivot on the VWAP, and start like looking at targeting pivots on there or Fibonacci retracement. I normally change my profit target on the VWAP entries because it can kind of only, it changes. It's not the same number. It's not going to be the same every time because the ATR changes over time. So those are important. So anyway, I got to get going. Do you guys have any questions or perhaps like, on the chat that you wanted to post on what you need to, accomplish or something like that? I know I have been posting in the room all the trades. So the option vault right here. Okay, so like today, we did 20, that was 22 cents. This really is cheap. The gap, this GPS, this gap, this is a big trade from institution trade. I mean, that's a lot of trade. Okay, so they want, this is it this week. You're holding it for this week. This one here, Pfizer, they actually roll this out. Okay, so they're targeting 42 or in between that, 38 to 42. So 42 is a target. You are buying the 38 and you are selling 42 on that trade. That one's for from TD Ameritrade. I only watch those, and sometimes when you put them like the next day, they're not even there anymore. Yeah, so sometimes they just flash it and they're gone. And I need to like make sure that I wrote it down or I took a picture of it like right away. So here's Target. Okay. So what this means is buying Target January 15th. So they are buying a call here 190 to 200. So they also have the AMX, but I didn't buy that anyway. So the SLB, they bought 3 million shares of SLB at 23.43. Okay, so that's why I bought um, the debit spread on 23.5 to 25 calls for 51 cents. So just little things like that, like if you have your money parked somewhere, if you see that big trades, this is for Facebook. Okay, so they're buying a February 19th to 65 calls. They are selling 270. That's the debit spread. So that's the same thing too as far as the GPS. So this is like a couple days ago. We did Uber. We still on this trade. Um, what else? I have a EEM and already closed that trade out when it was from 53 and then target the 55 area on EEM like a couple days ago. So those are the things that, if you have any questions or anything and how to trade them, you can ask me at any time. As far as those trading vault, they are quite good. If the institution are trading them, that means they already did the research that this stock is going to go higher or something. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions? I gotta wrap this up, and this would be post in part of the end of day kind of recap on our room, our trading room. Sure. Okay, thank you. You guys have a nice evening. Like I said, please always like look at your BWAP as your equilibrium level and use your pivots to target if you don't know how to do Fibonacci retracement on any instrument across the board. Use it across the board and have like the yesterday's flows, put in like what could be and where it's going to happen, and look at your bullish engulfing, your W pattern when it's about to go higher, when it touched the MPD bands. Anyways, those are the bread and butter that I teach all the time, and they work like all the time. Anyways, have a good one. Thank you.